North Carolina vinyl picker at Mr. K's. See if there's anything here I need to take home today. We got a big show coming up here in a couple of weeks. We got the best top 10 records 2023. Some of these people I know, some of these people I don't know. This is modern music. A little too much modern music. This is something I know. Little Sweaty Teddy. We'll flip a few more here. And then, like I said, I'm at Mr. K's in downtown Asheville, North Carolina. Y'all have a good rest of your day. After I leave here, I'm going to be heading over to Harvest Records. And we'll see you over there real soon. Bye for now. North Carolina vinyl picker back. And I made the curry and it was awesome, but it might have been too many peppers. It was really delicious. Lenore, North Carolina. Went up there the other day. I think it was Thursday. And he had told me that he got in a bunch of really cool stuff. Some 80s rock. Stuff that I was listening to back then. Even though I said I didn't listen to a lot of new stuff in the 80s. But I regress. I did listen to a lot of cool stuff in the 80s. And so I went there and I seen him and I got an idea also for making a record cabinet. And there'll be a picture in here. I just took a picture of it and talked to him for a minute and I'm going to build it. I'm just going to do it. So I got to go tomorrow to Lowe's and get some lumber to build this thing. I'm going to put it in here and I can flip through records. Just like being in a record store. Yeah. It's like Rachel said, a record. So Dead Wax Records, he had some really cool stuff. And these are all records I had back in the day when I did The Purge in the 90s. You know what happens. It's the same old story. It's the same old song. Okay, Kate Bush, The Big Sky, 45. That was a nice one. Genesis, Abacab. Should have known that one. Phil Collins, Missed Again. These were all really cheap for what they're worth. Phil Collins again, In the Air Tonight. And Kate Bush, Experiment 4. With the B-side of Wuthering Heights, the new vocal. And this is from The Whole Story when she had that greatest hits. But there you go. So I got those 545s there. Awesome. And then he said, I was looking through the records. I seen the Neil Diamond that I didn't have. Velvet Gloves and Spit is one I've been looking for. I only got a couple more of his early ones, and then I'm done. Tori Amos, God, 12-inch. This thing goes for big money on Discogs, but I picked it up, I think it was $15. And the Neil Diamond was like $3. The 45s were like $5 to $7 a piece. I've never seen this Procol Harum before. Anybody else seen this one? It says it's Whiter Shade of Pale, and it is a German, I believe. It's a German press of Whiter Shade of Pale. It's called Star Power. So those were the things I picked up while I was there. And then I was getting ready to check out, and he said, I think I got one more Kate Bush album. You want to take a look at it? I said, sure, why not? Let's go. He said, it's a promo. I said, oh, man. If it could be The Dreaming, that's my favorite Kate Bush album. And it was, and it's a promo. And he had $20 on this, and that's a no-brainer. they're coming out, they're redoing them all, remixing, remastering them all, but I'd rather have the OG. Turn that air conditioner on. And then the other day I went to, was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. I went over to Asheville, North Carolina, and the leaves were changing. Oh, it's just beautiful. I'm going to try to add the video, some of that video into my weekly video to show you the color changes for you people that live down in Florida that don't see any color changes in the leaves. I went to Mr. K's. Now, Mr. K's is my kind of like my honey hole over there in Asheville. And now that I've told everybody, everybody's going to be going over and seeing Mr. K. But that's reserved for Big Chief, North Carolina vinyl picker. Patrick Moraz, his first album, he was with Yes on Relayer, and he also was in the Moody Blues for quite a few years. But I think they had a falling out because you don't really hear Justin or John Lodge talking much about Patrick Moraz. So it must have been some bad blood spilled there. But anyway, Patrick Moraz, I really like him. I'm only missing like one album. It's got a picture of him walking down the beach. Then they had this one there. He had $3 on this. This is what this is Nick Mason's solo album, one of his solo albums with a guy named Rick Finn. This came out in, 85? It's when Gilmore and Richard Wright and the other guy there, Roger Waters. Yeah, that's the guy. They were all making solo albums. And then they had this one here, Brand X, Do They Hurt? With Phil Collins, Percy Jones, and the whole crew. And this is a Charisma. It's a UK pressing. And it had $5 on it. That was a no-brainer. I took my Brand X, Do They Hurt, and I put it in my store. And, speaking of the store, Discogs. Go to Discogs. It's an app. You can go on there. It don't cost nothing. And then look up Big Chief Vinyl and 57, and there'll be a link down below. You can go to my store. And I get sales almost every day. I got records and CDs going out of here almost every day. I have Blu-rays. I even got a few 8-tracks. Got a few cassettes. I got 100% on my buying and my selling. So I'll make it right. If it's a problem, no problem. No problem with the Big Chief. Rick Wakeman. This one here is The Myths and Legends of King Arthur, The Knights of the Round Table. And I only had his first 2 solo albums. I never had this one here back in the day. And I heard this one time. I think I played it on Spotify or one of those Apple Music, and I didn't like the vocals on it. But for $3 at Mr. K's, all day long. And then Criminal Record. I never had Criminal Record either. Rick Wakeman, Criminal Record. Don't know much about this except I see that there's some other Yes members on this album. And what else? And then later in that day, I went over to Harvest Records. Harvest Records is probably my favorite record store down in Asheville, North Carolina. Beautiful up there. Did I say it was beautiful up there? It's beautiful up there. It's my go-to place. It's my happy place. And I saw this 45 there. It was on my list to get. Cat Stevens. Whoop. The Moon Shadow. Yeah. This one here goes for big money on Discogs, but I picked it up. I think they had $3 on this. So I was glad to get it. And nice picture sleeve. And they have a whole bunch of old 45s there. Something that John Bit Bomb Boom would probably, he'd probably like to, look through all them 45s. There was even a Japanese Led Zeppelin 45 there. There was a bunch of stuff. And then I was surprised and shocked. I was shocked. Bringing this one in hot. Santana Lotus double album and $10. I looked this one up, and this one here is some big money. This is the same place that I got that Dark Side of the Moon German quad a few months back. And they got some good deals over there. So if you're in the Asheville area, go on over and see the men and the women at Harvest Records. It's down in the River District. Beautiful over there. Did I say it was beautiful in Asheville? It's beautiful. This, Santana Lotus. I can't wait to spin this one. And for the price, holy moly. This one here I paid up for. Yep, Roger Eno. And another Green World. Now I got about 2 more records I want to get of his. Maybe 3. And I never really gave much thought and much listen to Eno. But and there's a little bit of vocal on here, but it ain't bad. You know, I paid up a little bit for this one. I don't want to say how much the wife watches this here. No, I'm just kidding. She says I don't have a limit. You know, how can you go wrong with that? $25. I paid $25 for the Eno. That's a good price. There wasn't a mark on it. This one here was a steal, and this was on my list. Recycled. Yeah, this is Nectar, and this is a backlist. This is a German copy, Bellafon. They had $10 on this. You know, right now, Nectar, ain't nobody buying it. I'm probably the only person that walked in that store the whole day that even knew who Nectar was. So I'm in the store, and I asked the 2 guys at the counter, I said, you know, the Beatles album's coming out soon, the red and the blue, the double album. They're going to come out. There's going to be 3 albums on each one. They got a new 45 that McCartney figured out, and he went ahead and got it done with some AI. And the guys are looking at me like, Beatles? They were like a deer in the headlight. Like they had no freaking clue what I was talking about. None. 0. You know, only the biggest group ever. You know, next to Zeppelin and Queen and a couple others. But they were clueless. They said, I haven't really heard anything about it. You know, the other guy didn't even know who the Beatles were, I don't think. You know, anyway. It was a little bit funny. Okay, so then these are the items I got off of eBay this week. This was a crazy week, I'm telling you. You know, I say that every week, but this week here in particular, there was a lot of stuff that came my way. And I've been doing good in the store, so you know what I do. The money goes into PayPal, and like Dylan says, it's free money. It's funny money. It's monopoly money. So then you use it and you spin it and you go ahead and you buy stuff that you want. So I'm selling off all my CDs. If you go to my store, you'll see lots of CDs. And if you don't see it there, ask me. I probably got it. I'm getting rid of them all. The last time, I'm not going to watch them. I'm not going to watch them. I'm not going to listen to them anymore. Now that I'm into the vinyl, I'm back on the vinyl train. I'm back. He brought me back. Okay, Chicago Transit Authority. This is a quad. Look at that. I got a really good deal on this one. So there you go. Can't wait to give that a listen. Court and Spark, Joni Mitchell. This is a quad. Don't pass up on these quads. Patrick, the vinyl archivist, says don't pass up on the quads. And I tell you what, they sound phenomenal. And they're not that expensive. You can get most of these for between $10 and $15, $20 at the most on some of the higher quads. But I got about 8 or 10 so far, and I probably got 10 more on my list to get, and then I'm done. I'm going to get all these quads. And Buddha in the Chocolate Box. Buddha in the Chocolate Box. Cat Stevens, probably one of my least favorite Cat Stevens albums. It's a good album, but it's not as good as like some of the other ones. Not one of my favorites. But it's a quad. Look at there. It's got that quad. This one here is a good band. This guy's voice sounds like Geddy Lee's almost. Yeah, this is Pavlov's Dog, Pampered Mental, Mo. This is their first album. And their second album, it says William Bruford on it. Yes, Bill Bruford played on that second album on Pavlov's Dog. The second album is better. I think it's a better album than the first one. And this is a fan favorite, Grobschnitt. And Grobschnitt's albums are cheap right now. They're on eBay, and you're going to say, oh, North Carolina vinyl picker? Who's Grobschnitt? Well, they're a German band, and they're progressive, and they're rock, and they were around in the late 70s and through the 80s, and they made some fantastic progressive rock. So if anybody's out there that knows about this band, write a comment down below. I'd like to hear from you. And I'd like to hear from all of you. And I want to thank all of my new subscribers. I'm up over 840. The little train that could go down the track. I was hoping to get to 900 by Christmas, but it's been slow pickings lately. So if you like my video, subscribe, hit the bell. That way you'll know every time the North Carolina Vinyl Picker is back. And I'm trying to do some cool stuff. I'm going to put in some cooking segments. I'm going to take some walks in the woods, and I'm going to show you some of that kind of stuff. And just do different things, you know, rather than just sit here and flip records all day. Though I got a lot to show. I don't know what's going to happen next week. We'll see what's coming up. I know that the record show in Clemens is coming up in November. I'm going to be going over there, and I'm hoping a couple of my vinyl pickers from the vinyl community meet me over there. That would be pretty cool. We could have lunch. That's all I got for today. You be good out there. You be safe, and support them troops. We'll talk to you later. North Carolina Vinyl Picker, out.